Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Welcome to Video Friday. And so today we are going to be making a little trifold card, and actually so cute. Have you tried the new embossing folder? It's called Dotted Circles. This is a 3D folder and look how big it is. So the normal size is, 4.5 by 5. Well, wait a minute. Hang on a second. I'll show you the difference. This is a normal size. If I can find one here real quick. Well, we have this size, right? So that one would be 6 by, 6 by 6. But the normal size is much smaller. You can find them. We also have the minis, so you can see the difference in the size of these. This one's huge. And at first when I saw these, I was like, what good is this big folder? But I have both of them now. I have this one and the other one, the swirly, and they are fabulous. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make a little trifold card with it, and I'm going to be using Pool Party, Pretty Peacock. I'm going to be using Humble Home with the punch, so the bundle on that. I'm also going to be using these new little hearts. These are adhesive back heart sequins. Aren't they so cute? Get a million of them in there. How many? You get 120, 3 different sizes. So yeah, 3 different sizes. So let's get started and let's make this cute card. The paper I'm going to be using, I hope I didn't go down too far on the camera. Can you see? Yeah, I think you can. Okay, I'm going to be using Pool Party and Pretty Peacock as my inks. I might use black, I'm not sure, but Country Woods Designer Series papers in the annual catalog. That's what I'm using for my card. And then I'm going to be adding, so this piece here. So I did cut this. It's an 8.5 by 6. 8.5 by 6. And I scored it twice, 2.5, and then I flipped it and I scored it at 3. Okay, so now I'm going to run this through the Dotted Circles 3D folder. So now when you do a 3D folder, you know you only need 2 different things in your, 2 different things in your embossing, in your cut and emboss. I can't talk and do things at the same time sometimes. I'm going to be using the gray plate. I'm also going to be using the platform, number 1. So you need 1 and 4 to do a 3D embossing folder. 1 and 4, and you always make your sandwich. Put that in the center. Make sure it's centered so you don't scrape the sides of it. You don't want to scratch up the sides of your folder. So we're going to run that through. And since this is a, let's see how this looks. So since this is a wood grain, I love it. Since this is a wood grain Designer Series paper, I could add a little color to this with one of my blending brushes. I have to decide, do I want to do that? Pretty much like it the way it is, but it might be kind of nice. Let's try it. I'm going to use Pool Party. I don't want to go too dark, so I'm going to use Pool Party. I'm going to use my light blue blending brush. I don't have one for every color. I just call them light blue, light green, dark green. I do have like, 20, something like that. And just gonna lightly go over it and just pull up a little color onto the top. Let's take this bracelet off. Clink, 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 drives me crazy. So I'm just going to, you can see that the little dots will pop a little bit by doing this. I don't want it to go too crazy, but a little bit is good. So I did score that in advance, and when you run it through an embossing, your cut and emboss, your score lines will kind of go away, but you can still see them. So that'll work fine. And you could feasibly do your scoring after you run it through the embossing folder. Either way is fine, but and it's just adding a very light touch of Pool Party ink. Very light touch. Just making those dots pop out a little bit. So this Designer Series paper is so cute. Now this side is really dark, so I'm going to cover most of that up with some more paper. I'll leave that open. So I'm going to go ahead and fold on those score lines. Okay, so this one, and kind of hard to see, but they're there. The thing with designer series paper is don't score it too hard. You don't want to like really take your scoring tool and really do too deep. You want it to go a little bit light, okay? So we have that. And now I'm going to fill the inside. And I have a piece of white cardstock. Okay, so this is, I cut this 3 by 6. I think I'm going to maybe cut it down just a smidge. I think I'm going to cut this down to just under 3, maybe 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. So it'll fit nicely in there. You'll still see a little bit of the brown that way. And the same thing with these 2 pieces. So I did cut this one 2 1/2 by 6. I'm going to cut this down to 5 3/4 by 2 and like 2 1/4. And then this one I'm going to cut down to 5 3/4 by 2 3/4. I'm going to cut that side off. 2 3/4. Oops. I think I'm going to sneeze. Hold on a second. Oh, I felt that coming on. Usually I sneeze in 2s, and there it was. It's crazy. I don't know why. Every time I sneeze, it's 2. And so now I'm going to adhere my designer series paper. So I think I'm going to just use my Stampin' Seal. I like that side too. That's Misty Moonlight, I think, but that's okay. We're going to cover that up. Okay, that's very rustic. So I can make this very easily a masculine card. But I don't really think it really qualifies as a masculine card when I get done with it. Okay, so now I have my Humble Home set. And what I want to do with this is, if I can find some scratch paper here. I have all kinds of paper in here, so I don't know if this is how you keep your paper, but when I have all these pieces, I am going to punch out, I hope this is wide enough. This way it is. Okay, I'm going to punch out the house. Oof, and get all these little pieces. And then I have this little heart right here, so I'm going to punch out a little heart at the top. Right here. I have to be careful because I don't want to cut off the top of the roof. Oh, I didn't do good. Hang on a second. Let's do another one of those. Okay. And this is thick cardstock, so that's why. I'm just going to do a little circle instead. Okay, that's better. Okay, we have that done. Now, you notice I didn't stamp anything on there yet. So I'm going to stamp thank you from Humble Home. And this stamp is, these are photopolymer stamps. Oops, sorry about that. So I'm going to stamp this in black memento. Just going to stamp thank you on here. And then I'm going to use my blend markers. And I have both of them, the light and the dark. I'm going to start with the light. And I'm going to just color in the thank you first. The thank with the light. They're both pretty dark. So I'm going to go a little gentle because I don't want it to. So, you know, they kind of do bleed over a little bit. So if you don't go right to the edge, it's good, actually. See how that one kind of bled over a little? I don't know if you're close enough to see, but. So, thank. And then I'm going to use the dark one for the U. Just a little bit darker. And you know, you could use either tip. I really like the brush tip, but if you like the other tip, it has more, actually the other tip has more durability than the brush. If you use the brush tip, be real gentle. If you're using the tip, if you're using the side of it, you can kind of give it a little more pressure, but if you're using, see, I kind of like that. Okay, so now I need to decide. I'm going to be using some Pool Party ribbon, and I'm hoping that this will go through here. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so I think I'm going to use my blending brush real quick and just give it a little extra color. So stark white. Okay, good. Now I'm going to see, let's hold our breath here and see if this will go through. It's kind of thick. It's got these little balls on it, and I'm not sure. This is called, oh, if you're asking me the question of what is that called? Pom-pom ribbon. This is in the mini catalog, the current mini catalog, and it is so cute. But I have to tell you that it's working. Okay, perfect. I was afraid because the ribbon itself is real thin, but then you got those little pom-poms. So I was a little nervous about that. Okay, so let's do a little something on here. And this is how I just do little stick pins in my ribbon. I know everybody does a different way. That's what I do. And now I am going to just do this big heart. I love this big heart. Okay, so I'm just gonna stamp a couple of these. Actually, I'm gonna do a pretty peacock one. So I have a Pool Party, and I'm going to do a pretty peacock. And you can go from Pool Party to dark, right? It's not going to hurt your pad. Look at that. If you went the opposite way, you need to clean your stamp. If you go dark to light, you need to clean your stamp. If you go light to dark, you don't need to clean your stamp as long as it's in the same color family. Like if I was going from, you know, like yellow to red, I'd need to clean my stamp. I'm sure you knew that. Okay. All right, so this is going to go inside my card. I'm just going to add a little more color. Why not? I've already added a lot of color. I'm going to keep adding some sponging. I love that sponging. I think it's so, just add something. It makes the cardstock look kind of vintage. I don't know if vintage is the word, but it gives it a little oomph. All right, so now we're going to add this into our card. So I'm going to put this right here. Center that. Okay, so that's where you sign your card inside. And then when you fold it like that, you bring your ribbon around. You need a good piece of ribbon. Now you could attach your ribbon, but it's going to leave a little sticky on here. My thoughts are you're not going to want to attach it. Just going to do free form. And when they open it, the ribbon will fall away. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. Some people do. The little pom-poms actually kind of go with the dots of the embossing folder. So that's one reason why I chose it, and also the color. I love Pool Party, and that's another reason why I chose it. Look at that, how cute that is. Ooh, I hope these, I've had some problem with ribbon scissors. There we go. Okay, now I could add, let's just add one of these. I'm just going to add a small one right down here, kind of keeping with a little heart theme. A little tiny heart. Okay, what did I forget? Anything? I think that's everything I wanted to show you today. So that I'm calling a trifold. I don't know what I would call it. It's just a trifold card. And the cool thing is this is like a mini slimline card, and it'll fit in a regular envelope. So if you wanted to mail this, you can. Just put it in a regular envelope, and mail it. Now you can decorate this too. So we could decorate this with, you know, more of this, some kind of cute stamps, but then when you open it, this falls away and then your greeting is inside. So I think I might glue that down. I might use liquid glue to glue that down to hold it all in place. So I put this one up first and this one down. I kind of like that look. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this today. Thanks for watching. My name's Trevis Bossler, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in St. Louis, Missouri. And yes, we are into November. So I'm going to be doing other things besides Christmas cards for the month of, obviously this is not a Christmas card, for the month of December, November and December. I'll throw one in now and then, but it's not going to be total Christmas cards. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Bye.